my dog is like addicted to Adderall. Are you crazy?
Hello.
Dakota! What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
We're such big fans.
Oh my God, are you kidding? I've seen all your videos.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, they're really not for me.
What?
Not how I expected you to come in here. Must be that dry sense of humor. We had an idea for you.
Yeah, basically, one of us would play your boyfriend, and
Sorry, that's like the first funny thing you've ever said.
That wasn't a joke.
Oh, so is it like a Make-A-Wish thing?
what?
Does my character have brain damage?
Did we do something to offend you?
No. No, I mean, I've always wanted to meet the lonelier island.
All right, let's do it then.
All right, it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Well, hey, I've always wanted to meet the star of Madam Web. Can you introduce me to Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah, Madam Web. What's her superpower? Is it whispering in monotone?
How does it feel to be in the least viral Taylor Swift video that she's ever had?
So genuinely, do you still have to audition, or do they just give you the part as soon as Aubrey Plaza says
How
no?
does that work? I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell by just looking at you that you guys loved Hamilton.
What?
No?
No, we do not. Well, hey, I love that you're still doing bangs. Very Obama first term.
It's almost as funny as the movie you made that no one saw.
To quote the AV Club's one-word review of last night's Saturday Night Live, hosted by Dakota Johnson,
Yes.
oof. Oh, man.
Wasn't that bad,
The writers must really hate Dakota Johnson because the week before, Jacob Elordi, he had a good time, and she's at least as funny as he is.
Oof.
She's Dakota Johnson can do funny if she's given the right material, and yeah, there was.
She wasn't given the right material.
No. The best thing, of course, was the her versus Please Don't Destroy, and that was the finest moment of the show. Anyway, this is TV10 Podcast, episode 0480.
That's right. 480 episodes where you've listened to us chuckleheads talk about TV and drink.
20 more episodes and we can retire.
Really? Do we have a lot vested in our TV10 IRA?
Oh, as far as you know.
We're fucked, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm Bill Frost over here. That's
I'm Tommy Milagro.
over there.
Yes.
We
here I am.
we possibly would have had a special guest, but he's out pit vipering in the world.
Well, yes, and we understand things happen, but here's what I'll have to say. Matt Damon, I know you have snubbed Jimmy Kimmel before. You will not snub the TV10 podcast here, but maybe next time we'll have you on our show.
Yeah. So what we got drinking here is Moscow Mules.
Well, more specifically, it is the craft cocktails from Five Wives, from Ogden's own distillery.
Yeah, we saved Tommy the trouble of mixing them up himself. He
Yes.
just got the cans, put them in the copper cups, and a lot of ice, a little bit of lime, and good to go.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That is all you need for the summery weather. Or is it springtime?
Well, it's very spring-like day to day, so yeah,
All right. So basically, we're going to be fucked come time summer.
maybe.
All right.
Yeah,
Save the water, folks.
we'll see if they're like it's gonna flood. Well, maybe.
It's so arid.
Not here in the TV10 studios area. We're in a non-flood zone.
No, and more importantly, if we go into the 36 chambers
Yeah.
of TV10, we have some water caches, so that way
We're fine.
We can hydrate.
Yes, we're fine.
Yes.
We're all good. So I want to let you know there's some new stuff coming up this week before Tommy Milagro unleashes a metric fuck ton of wrestling news upon you.
He's not kidding, folks. He's fucking not kidding.
And it's probably not just limited to the WWE, I'm guessing.
No.
Nope. Okay. All right, tonight, as this episode drops, Monday, January 29th, a documentary, a rock doc, if you will.
A rock doc?
Rock doc. It's called The Greatest Night in Pop. It's on Netflix. And it's specifically about January 28th, 1985, when 40 of music's biggest stars gathered together to record We Are the World.
Oh, that.
Yeah, they were all in L.A. for an awards show, the American Music Awards, which I don't know if exists anymore or not.
No, it doesn't.
It's fine.
All right.
And yeah, so it's a behind-the-scenes documentary. I don't think there's ever been. I've never seen one. I've seen the music video. That's probably the extent of the coverage of the behind-the-scenes on that.
And then you just went, this.
We Are the World, yeah. And yeah, so we'll have some interviews with taken back into the day with Springsteen and Lionel Richie and Huey Lewis and
Stevie Wonder.
Maybe not the News. We'll see. Kenny Loggins.
Bigger question. What about Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So what about?
We'll see.
What about Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper? Yeah, looks like we got her in there.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right, some great stars there.
Yeah. On Wednesday, Ryan Murphy's latest edition of Feud. You might remember a few years ago he chronicled the battle between Joan Crawford and Betty Davis.
Yes, and this is
Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Apparently sometime back in the day, Truman Capote ran afoul of New York high society and incurred the wrath of what they call the Swans. These be played by just this fucking cast here. Naomi Watts, Chloe Sevigny, Callista Flockhart, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, and Diane Lane.
Wow. That is star-studded.
Hot damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. As you are a news person,
Sure.
Who the fuck were the Swans?
Got me before my time.
Okay. So, basically, this is just a gaggle of gossip geese, or what are we talking here?
I'm going to have to watch to find out.
Okay.
That is on FX and Hulu on Wednesday.
All right.
Thursday, I'm very excited about this. Season 2, actually maybe Season 3. Clone High. Clone High.
Okay.
Ooh,
You all right?
The lime got me.
Never thought. Okay, there's the title here. The Line Got Me. All right.
And yeah, Clone High. This is created by Phil Lord and Chris Miller of the Lego Movie and Bill Lawrence of Scrubs and Ted Lasso.
We've talked about this before. It was on MTV.
MTV in the year 2002. Ran for, I think, 13 episodes. And like everything in the early 2000s in MTV, just got canceled.
Yeah.
Because they would create one season of something that was really cool and then just cancel it.
Because the thinking at the time was, oh, we can't produce more of this. Let's hear more about these reality shows.
Yeah, so last year, Max picked up Clone High and rebooted it. So we had a season last year. Now we have I'm going to call it the third season, even though it's technically the second season on the Max. But anyway, people like Will Forte are the voices, and also Nicole Sullivan, and it's very funny and very ridiculous.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Also on Thursday, sucker MCs, look out. It's Kings from Queens, the Run DMC story on Peacock.
Okay, everyone flock to the cock.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Jam Master Jay, but the rest of them are still around. And I hope they cover the 1988 movie that Run DMC made that you can't find anywhere anymore. I remember
Crush Groove?
No, not that one.
Whoa.
I think you can still find Crush Groove. This is Tougher Than Leather.
Oh,
1988.
Wow.
It was sort of like a man, it was a fucking weird movie. And the Beastie Boys were in it, and basically they were like crime fighters or crime doers.
Okay.
But
I've never heard of this.
It had a very limited release, and I remember watching it. I rented it on VHS from the Tower Theater.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do they even have that anymore, or have you asked?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. But, yeah, Tougher Than Leather, 1988. Ridiculous movie, and I hope they cover some of it. And you can find some bits of it on YouTube, but the full movie is nowhere to be found that I've looked for it.
Okay, and I'm looking at IMDb, and
do they acknowledge his existence?
They acknowledge it, but as far as where it could be shown anywhere else, nope.
Yeah.
Nowhere. That's interesting.
Maybe you should pick that up, Peacock, while you're doing this documentary.
So you're saying that the cock needs to flock
To run Tougher Than Leather.
All right.
Run DMC. Yeah.
Okay.
On Friday, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the series.
Yay.
Donald Glover and Maya Erskine from Pen 15. Originally was meant to be Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag.
This works better.
Something happened, and she's no longer involved.
Yep.
And so basically, we're retelling the Mr. and Mrs. Smith story over 8 episodes, and with some twists. People in here guest starring like Sarah Paulson, Ron Perlman, and Parker Posey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And some of you are going, what's Mr. and Mrs. Smith? It was the original movie featuring Brill Prim and Angelina Jolie.
That would be Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie from 2005.
Yeah, so what did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a great movie.
It was the movie that tore us under Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's relationship.
Aw, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something terrible and true? Get over it.
Yeah. And on Sunday, Grammy Awards, hosted by Trevor Noah.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be hearing from Billie Eilish and Dua Lipa and Olivia Rodrigo and Billy Joel.
Really?
Yeah.
They drug him out of mothballs?
Yeah. And also we'll be hearing U2 live from Vegas from the Sphere.
Oh, they still haven't finished up their residency.
They're still there, I guess.
Wow.
And word of warning to Trevor Noah, no Taylor Swift jokes.
Oh.
Avoid those.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Joe Coy has been heard from since the Golden Globes.
Are you saying the Swifties tore him asunder?
I'm saying the Swiftie army probably made short work of Joe Coy. I haven't heard from him.
It's like a bacchanal nation here.
And, of course, the big news on Sunday, the 12th season premiere of Curb Your Enthusiasm, final season.
Yay!
Yeah.
And I know you're excited for this.
Oh, yeah. 12 seasons over 24 years. Not bad.
Jeez.
Pretty well done. And via press release, Larry David has said, I will now have the opportunity to finally shed this doink doink Larry David persona and become the person God intended me to be. The thoughtful, kind, caring, considerate human being I was until I got derailed into portraying this malignant character.
That doesn't sound like a Larry David statement here.
No.
Can I see the copy there for a second? Where am I reading it? Okay, right there. Okay. Hang on, little genius juice here.
Okay. Let's see if you can do it better than me.
Not better than you, better than Larry David, or like Larry David. I will now have the opportunity to finally shed this Larry David persona and become the person God intended me to be. The thoughtful, kind, caring, considerate human being I was until I got derailed by portraying this malignant character.
Sure.
Does that? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll work.
Yeah. So basically it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if I want to live in a world without Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, you've gotten by so far without Shameless.
True. Yeah.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Well, what's the one show that's keeping you still clinging on? What's the one thread that's left?
I don't know.
Or
now.
threads, for that matter.
I don't know now. What the hell?
What
have I got?
Well, that's my question, because at first I thought, I can't live without a world without Glow.
Right.
And then...
Okay, I'm going to say It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if that ends, then we ought to suicide watch.
I'll find something else to cling to, probably.
Okay, but until you can find something else, when that happens, I got to put you on suicide watch.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm making a note. Everyone that's listening, do we still have 12 listeners at this point?
Maybe.
If anybody cares, and if you want to see Mr. Frost keep going on, just keep them in your thoughts. Who cares about prayers at this point?
Thoughts and prayers.
When... No prayers at this point.
Just
here.
thoughts.
Yeah. And if and when It's Always Sunny he says, we're done, start planning and just say, Mr. Frost, you need to live on. Here's this show. Or, Bill, you got to watch this show. It's just as good, if not better, than it.
I will find something to cling to.
All right. So my only thing that I'm clinging on to is hate, rage, and revenge.
Oh.
You know, the classics.
Are you running for office?
Not yet. Not yet. Because I don't want to be running in Weejo. West Valley's more my speed, but Weejo, nah.
All right. Over the weekend, I completed Echo
Oh,
on Disney Plus.
and what did you think?
I thought it was fine. I quite enjoyed it. I don't understand all the negative reviews.
Oh, I know why there were negative reviews.
Okay, why?
Because she's brown.
Oh, is that it?
And she's indigenous.
And she's a she.
Uh-huh. And more importantly, if I may quote the late, great button shaman Carlin Tallbrother, all the negative reviews, white people nonsense. That is all you need to know.
Have we used that for a title before? I think we have.
I think we have. So, white people nonsense to Electric Boogaloo?
Maybe.
All right,
If you can write all that down without your hand cramping.
Easily. I'm a goddamn professional.
But yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, fucking, he is the kingpin.
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
not fucking replace him.
He's so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was expecting a little more Daredevil. We got some in the first episode, but that was kind of it.
Yeah. But it's all right. This is
It was
all
enough.
Echo.
It was enough. Yeah.
Mhm. And and you would think that not only somebody indigenous from the Choctaw Nation, even though that's probably not her designation here, you wouldn't think this would work, but it does. And more importantly, you would also say, somebody who is has a hearing impairment would not work either, but it does. Oh, and she's also got this missing limb. Shouldn't work. It does.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say here to all the negative nannies here, fucking shut it. I don't want to fucking hear another word about this. Come up with something better than, all right, it's not going to work. It's not. I don't care. But what about for I don't fucking care. Just stop it. You can stop now. So.
I like all the Res Dogs cameos.
Oh, were you kind of going, I remember you? Or,
Yep.
I remember you from this and that. And
Yeah.
Oh, it was. And Graham Greene was just the best. Oh.
And well, this is a lot of news about that one guy.
What one guy?
Well, it's the guy we're going to get to when.
Oh shit! Is there more?
No, it's just a lot of it is cluttering up the feed.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the same story repeating itself.
Not breaking news. It's just more news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And Jojo Siwa is replacing Nigel Lithgow on So You Think You Can Dance
Okay.
because he's just the latest dude who's been accused of sexual assault.
Great. And moving along.
But yeah, Nigel Lithgow, did not expect that.
Bigger question: did anybody expect and or care?
No.
That's my point.
No.
Moving along.
And yeah, like everything else is. I think we might be moving to Netflix eventually.
What? We got our deal?
Yeah. Well, it seems like everyone's going to Netflix now. Did we talk about it last week when the big sports thing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did that happen after we recorded?
It happened
Okay,
just as
so we do have a fuck ton of news to get to.
But
The other thing that's moving to Netflix is Temptation Island.
Okay.
USA is, I guess, giving it up and handing it over to Netflix, where I will also never watch it.
Okay. And less said about it, the better, probably.
Yeah. And there's also a lot of people have been asking me about.
People are saying I am
many
hearing.
people are saying.
Yes.
No, like never before seen in our country.
Drill baby.
Louder Milk.
Okay.
The Ron Livingston series from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Livingston and Will Sasso are in it. Ron Livingston, this was on DirecTV's Audience Network, so about me and about 35 other people saw it.
And now it's finding a second life again with
the third season went to Prime Video. And
That's
that's
it.
where the first and second seasons also went. So a few more people saw it, but it's been on Netflix for a couple months now.
Oh.
And I've had a lot of people say, hey, you know about this show? I go, yeah, I watched it about 5 or 6 years ago.
And then you went, but I read about this in the New York Times. Fuck off. So-
Now, I can't blame people for catching up on it now because it was... well, the DirecTV, you had to be a DirecTV subscriber to see the first couple of seasons.
and see,
And I was at the time.
yeah, and here's the thing. This is why I'm not a better person, and I could be petty as fuck when I say, we talked about it on the podcast!
It is true, but it was kind of hard to get. And even when it moved to Prime Video, it's not everybody has Prime Video.
I know.
Actually, a lot of people do have Prime Video. They just don't realize it.
Yeah.
They're Amazon Prime members, and they don't realize it.
And then all of a sudden they go, why am I paying all this shit for this Amazon? Let me take a look. Oh.
Yeah, and now Louder Milk has been on Netflix for a couple months, and a lot of people are finally catching on to it, which is kind of cool. Ron Livingston plays a former rock critic who is also a recovering alcoholic, who is also acting as a sober rehabilitation counselor for a group of people. And he's cranky as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's got opinions on everything.
More to the point, no, folks, this is not based on Bill Frost's life. He's never been sober.
Nope.
And he's being consistent.
Right.
Thank God.
Never sobered up.
Yep. So, oh yeah, and this dry January thing, fuck off.
No, not doing dry January at all. So, now I think we can get to your metric fuck ton of news.
Oh boy. All right, you better hit the music.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team.
From the sports desk of the TV10 podcast, we deliver to you only the sport of professional wrestling. And this is basically the American Nightmare edition. So this is a perfect time to say, so what do you want to talk about? Okay, so let's, why don't we start with this in real time? So as Bill alluded to earlier, as we left the Sosalot studios here, everything just dropped this entire week. Starting with number one, WWE added a new board member in Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the People's Champion. He is in the WWE and now has control of his name, The Rock. And
Which I guess we didn't. Were we aware that he did not have that?
I was aware that he could only use it in certain circumstances,
Okay.
which, by the way, for everybody listening to this, let me just say the following things. Copyright lawyers. Remember that. Now, but here's the caveat to this. Dwayne Johnson has control back again of the Rock name. The caveat is he can only do it with certain company-sponsored events.
So it's pretty much the same as it was before?
Pretty much. The only difference is that he has now got more money than you and I could ever dream of. I think.
Well, I think that was also the same before.
Yeah, well, actually, no. This is a little different. Because he's a board member, he's got an extra, I think it's $30 million, all based on shares on WWE.
Okay.
He was there with Vinny K with his bad dye job and weird Snidely Whiplash pencil mustache.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or is it John Waters? I'm not sure which. Either way.
It's more of a John Waters.
Yeah. He rang the bell over at the New York Stock Exchange here, which follows with the other thing. And speaking of Netflix, WWE is going to be moving to Netflix starting in January of 2025.
That is Raw.
Yeah, well, actually,
Or is it all of it?
I think, well, this is where it gets a little bit interesting here. So Raw definitely will be going to Netflix here. Now, as for the other shows like NXT, SmackDown, etc., that's yet to be decided here, except for NXT is going to find a place with the C-Dub.
Okay.
That's going to be happening October of this year, which, by the way, that's CW proper, not the streaming app.
Right. Okay.
That's where NWA is currently, which they will have their debut coming up on February 6th. We'll talk about that next week as it develops here.
Okay.
SmackDown is kind of in limbo right now. It's on Fox, but Fox has said, "Nah, we didn't see a return on our investment, so they could be somewhere else. It could possibly be Netflix." But here's the other side of the coin, because as you and I both know, WWE's had a relationship with NBC Universal Comcast in the form of the Peacock. That's where you would flock to the cock for not just anything WWE or even pay-per-views like the Royal Rumble, which we're going to touch on in a second, but their entire tape library. That encompasses WCW, ECW, and everything else in between that they have procured and curated over the years. So with this new deal with Netflix, there's no indication of what's going to happen to that tape library or how you can access to it. And that beggars the question, how much are you willing to pay to go on Netflix just for all this right there? They got a lot of time to work this out. That's going to be a story as it develops here. Just be aware. You might be shelling out some money if you want to watch some stuff on WWE next year. Speaking of people that are going to be shelling things out, which, how's that for a segue, huh?
Well done.
Yes, and again, the hits keep on coming because Vinnie Mac was hit with a lawsuit, and this is what we were talking about a little bit earlier. This has been reported on other outlets, but of course, if you want to, you could go to slamwrestling.net. You know, I write for them, by the way.
That's what I hear.
And, it's only because I got an MBA, but
Right.
down the hatch. But moving along here, he was sued for allegations of, among other things, sex trafficking. The plaintiff involved here, Janet Grebel, I believe it was, she states that from a period of time, Vincent McMahon kept her on the payroll in exchange for sexual favors. And in addition to Vinny being named in the suit, which was filed in Connecticut's courts, other individuals involved, like John Laurinaitis or Johnny Ace, who was once and I use the term laughably, the WWE's head of talent relations, along with Brock Lesnar, received some favors from this particular individual. Now, I'm bringing up Lesnar because in the suit, there's two reasons. Number one, Lesnar, and I won't get into the details because, let's face it, ew. But secondly, Lesnar was slated to be one of the entrants in the recent Royal Rumble, but for some reason decided to drop out. Go fig. But the point is that things were looking dire, and as the story kept developing, Vinny was on the board of TKO, the recently merged conglomerate of UFC and WWE. Now, and here's where it gets interesting. Remember what are we in, 24? Remember a couple of years ago when Vince McMahon had to step down?
Yeah.
And it was due to some potential allegations of sexual misconduct? This was it. Which also is very interesting because we talked about it last time. He came back around January of last year or so to help facilitate the sale of WWE. So the question now is, who knew what and when, and how bad is this going to look? Now, some of you are going, I can't believe this is happening. Why is this happening with wrestling? Here's the thing. Wrestling, by and large, has always been a secretive business. They have tried to keep things behind the curtain, and nobody blinked twice about it because, and you have to look in yourself in the mirror when you have said to me, as well as to Mr. Frost here, oh, it's all fake. It's just, nonsense here. Well, guess what? It's not. Not that I'm going to say I've told you so, but
It's heavily implied.
yes, thank you. But here's the other side of the coin now. The WWE is a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange. They can't hide this. They can't sweep this under the rug like they've done with other incidences or superstars. And you're going, well, what are you talking about? Well, maybe you should watch Vice's Dark Side of the Ring series.
Yeah.
Which they've announced a season 5, by the way.
Yeah.
Here.
I would also suggest the podcast series Behind the Bastards.
Thank you.
There
I was going to bring that up.
5-part dive on Vince McMahon specifically.
Also, going back to Vice, because God love them, they also had a little documentary on the 9 lives of Vincent McMahon, which is basically just some cobbled over stuff that they have done with Darkseid, as well as their own investigations.
Yeah.
Say this what you will for Vice News. When they fucking dive balls deep into that shit. So it's definitely worth looking into that. But back to Vinnie Mac. Again, he was part of the board. He was not in any sort of, well, allegedly he was not part of any sort of head function right there. Although there were indications that he was operating in the background. But here's where it gets interesting. Up until the Royal Rumble, things were getting dicey as the news developed. Slim Jim said, I'm the fuck out of here.
We're snapping out of a Slim Jim.
Oh, thank you for hitting the bit. But the next day, Vinny resigned from WWE because even though, and I'm paraphrasing here, these are all despicable lies and all this and that.
Fake news.
Yeah. Essentially, when you get down to it, he wanted to protect the company. So as soon as that happened, Slim Jim said, we're snapping back in. Oh, yeah. Now, let's get to Royal Rumble itself. So if I had to sum up the Royal Rumble in...
You didn't recap it for Slam Wrestling, did you?
No, I did not.
But I'm guessing someone did.
Someone did. One of our new people, Aaron Castro, I want to say, did a fantastic job at slamwrestling.net.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't have an MBA, but
but he's struggling along. He's getting by.
I'm not going to say anything on that. I will just say he did an admirable job. However, there were some also one of our other fine pressmen there, staff writers, Alex Pogarski. I think I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Was there at the Royal Rumble
In person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he even got some interviews from people like Gunther, the Alpha Academy, just to name a few. Seriously, folks, go to slamwrestling.net. That is a great place to catch up on a lot of great stuff because, we actually treat pro wrestling like, what's the word? Sports. And we actually are real journalists. I know, even me.
Yeah.
I know that part, and you're looking at me like, Tom, are you really that drunk? Nope, not yet.
Not yet. No.
Nope. You know when the genius juice hits.
But specifically, 2 of my favorites made a comeback.
Okay, talk about what you liked.
Well, I haven't watched the Royal Rumble just yet. I'm going to flock to the cock on demand sometime today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't see it live, but I was following on the threads and the Insta. Mm-hmm. Saw that Naomi came back after almost a couple of years now.
She was over at Impact / TNA Wrestling as Trinity Fatu.
Yeah, so she and Sasha Banks bounced at the same time. They were a tag team at the time.
Yeah, and before you ask, no, Sasha Banks did not return to WWE.
No.
There were talks, but it just sort of dissolved.
And one of my favorites, Liv Morgan.
Well, that was one of the other surprises. The other person that was from TNA/Impact, Jordan Grace, made her debut with WWE.
Well, you got to have 30 women.
Exactly.
You got to find them somewhere.
And to the point of Liv Morgan, because she's facing some charges stemming from a pullover and having some weed in Florida, which, shouldn't be that much of a Florida thing, but at the same time, it's DeSantis' Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking DeSantis' Florida.
Yeah.
We're not talking our perceived Florida.
No. So there's
where we assume everything is legal there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where the surprise is in many ways, shapes and/or forms. Also, other matches, Roman Reigns held on to the undisputed title, yawn, and the other match was for the United States Championship with Logan Paul facing off against Kevin Owens, which in the countdown to the Royal Rumble, you'd be so proud of me, Mr. Frost. I said this here. I wrote, I've said it before. I've said it here with my co-host Bill Frost on the TV10 podcast, the only TV podcast that matters. Yep. Trademark. Stop making garbage people famous. So,
okay.
But WWE didn't get the hint, so Logan Paul wins. Sigh.
Oh well.
Yeah, which now brings us to the Men's Royal Rumble. Not many surprises except for Andrade El Idolo, formerly of All Elite Wrestling, returned back to WWE, as did Carlito, and yeah, again, not a lot of surprises except for it was Cody Rhodes who won the Royal Rumble. So now this is him finishing the story part 2.
Okay.
And so that is what we're going to have on the road to WrestleMania.
I believe the women's Royal Rumble was Bayley, right?
Yeah, Bayley won the Royal Rumble,
Okay.
So who knows who she's going to be facing going up to WrestleMania as well.
Okay.
But it was the media scrum afterwards. Oh, God, that was a delight.
Okay.
Long story short, basically they talked about the Royal Rumble, but then they went, hey, can you tell us about these allegations? Can you tell? Triple H was, yeah, he tried his best. He was like, we're not going to talk about this at this time. These are allegations. We were just, we'll hear more about it as it develops, but we're just going to focus on what's happening in the Royal Rumble. But there were still some people asking questions about that.
Oh, of course.
Yes. So with that said, wrestling got a whole lot fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And it is going to continue to get interesting, which, if people want to talk to me about it, yeah, I would say, well, go ahead and hit me up because it's sports.
It's sports. Go team. Should be noted that was an all WWE centric sports report.
Oh, fuck. I
haven't had one of those for a while.
No, I was just going to talk about some other things, but then this happened and I went, fuck me.
All right.
So, I am winded.
Netflix in the live sports game.
And we don't know what it's going to entail for the tape library is also, who knows?
Okay, here's what I know about it.
Okay.
The WWE is signed to Peacock for about another 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so you pulled that up as I was going through the sports report?
Well, I think I've written something about this within the last week. But, yeah, so they're going to be on at least some of their stuff, or however much, I don't know, is going to be tied to Peacock for until 2026.
So that brings up the question then, because obviously you got all the WrestleManias, which is 39 WrestleManias at this point.
Yeah. And also, the thing is, they don't do next day. Like, say, Raw airs on USA on Monday night. It is not available on Peacock on Tuesday. It is like 30 days at least away.
If that. And that is so fucking frustrating here. Which does bring up the other point with this deal with Netflix, because can you really call it Monday Night Raw? Or do you call it Raw is Netflix. I mean, no, you're laughing, but at the same time, even I don't know the answer because of how they've done shows in the past. Like, how do you stream that shit?
I'll bet what they'll do is they'll stream it live in exactly the same time slot.
We'll do it live. All right, we'll just do it live.
So here in the Mountain Time Zone, Raw starts at 9 on USA.
Well, if you're going by Comcast.
Well, yeah, depends on what service you're using.
Yeah, so let's clear that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, is it going to be a Monday night thing anymore, or does that change up?
They'd be crazy to move it. It's a Monday night staple.
And again, I'm not holding
it's just,
anything.
People don't think of Netflix as a live thing.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the thing. We've speculated this when they were starting to stale because we tried to say, could Netflix be a player in this? And the problem was, there's a schedule, there's a certain branding with this.
Yeah,
here.
they've done live stuff in the past, but not much.
Yeah. But, and what they did do live, it was, meh.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But they're Netflix. They know what they're doing. They'll figure it out.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you really sure? They fucked up with Glow, so that's why I'm not really holding my breath at this point.
Okay. Right. All right.
Am I wrong?
Nope.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Nope. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and one thing I forgot to add with the Russell's report, I just in respect to the media scrum, can I just say how funny it is that the whole thing about the scrum was this time CM Punk did not say anything at all, and it was Triple H that's probably holding the bigger pipe bomb than anything.
How do you shut up CM Punk?
Well, that goes without saying, but at the same time, hell froze over indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so a couple of shows I'm watching. First, we had the season 3 and final season premiere of Hightown on Starz, and it's on Starz. It's a fine little crime drama.
I know. I should watch it. I should go back to it.
Set in the Cape Cod area in the resort town of Provincetown, and there's drugs about, there's murder about, and it's up to. Basically, she's a nautical officer. She's not even really part of the local police force.
Wait a minute. I think I know this.
Yeah.
I've seen this story before, but keep going.
Yeah. So, Jackie Quinones, she's a bit of a party girl fuck up. But meanwhile, she's trying to solve a murder case and also a drug ring happening in the sleepy little resort town there.
Okay.
And, if you like quirky crime dramas, I'd recommend this on Starz. Of course, it's probably going to show up on Netflix in 3 years, and everybody will go, "What's this new show I've never heard of?"
Yeah.
I'm going to bet that's going to happen.
I'll see your bet, and I'll raise you. They'll also add, I heard about this in the New York Times or the New Yorker.
Yeah.
But two things to that subject here. So it's starring Monica Raymond as Jackie Quinones.
Yes.
Quinones. You might have.
She's from. I think she's one of the Chicago shows.
Yeah, Chicago Fire to be specific here.
She's really good.
And she has also done other stuff like Bros and let's see, the Kane Mutiny Court. Just to name a few.
Yeah, no one saw that.
No. This whole naval officer investigating a mystery or military person investigating mystery, I liked it better with its original title, Reacher.
Yeah, well, see, she's basically she works for Fish and Game.
Yeah, well, and she's a woman.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here's why I want to support this. I really want to, but there's just no getting around this. So I say this to Starz. You know what you did.
Oh, yeah.
You know what you... Go back in the corner. You do not leave until you thought about what you did.
If you cancel a wrestling comedy or drama, you will face the wrath of Tommy Milagro.
I don't mean to use my my outdoor voice like a, excuse me 1 second. You go back in the don't you look at me like that, Stars. You know what you did. You rectify it with heels.
And
moving along.
Over on Showtime, which is no longer Showtime, it is now Paramount Plus with Showtime, whether it's on cable, whether you're streaming it, whether it's on a satellite.
Or it's just show.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Show.
It's like the whole HBO and Max thing. It's like, I'm so lost anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and I got a little story about that, but continue.
But The Woman in the Wall, starring Ruth Wilson.
Oh,
it's
geez.
it's a murder mystery. Ruth Wilson plays a troubled woman who has a tendency to sleepwalk, and when she finds a woman murdered in her own home, don't remember this happening.
Don't know what happened here, officer.
So I will literally put her in the wall. I don't know how that's going to smell after a few days.
I mean,
Hadn't thought about that.
I would never think about that out loud because, we're just performance
But
artists.
it's a fine series on the
Yes.
Paramount Plus with Showtime. And speaking of Paramount Plus, they canceled Wolfpack with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Of course they did.
It's been about, I don't know, not quite a year or so since it completed its first season.
Okay.
But ended on a cliffhanger, of course.
Yeah.
And it seemed pretty promising. There was a lot of good press around it, a lot of decent hype around it. It seemed like a lock for season 2, but nope.
It's okay. It's okay. It's going to come back.
As?
Well, not as, but on.
Oh, Netflix?
No. And I never thought I'd say
The
these.
CW?
No, even better. I never thought I'd say these words, but Roku to the rescue.
Well, Roku has saved a few shows.
Yeah. I mean, Toes to Tinseltown and...
Yeah, and Chad and Zoe's Infinite Playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do
Or
not discount...
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, whatever the fuck that was called.
I'll look it up here.
Zoe had a playlist, I know that.
And, yeah, that's all I remember of it here. But don't discount it. I'm pointing at you. You do not discount Roku.
Yeah,
All
could happen.
Oh, which that was the thing I was going to bring up. So
Yes.
I bought a new Roku streaming stick for the entertainment room because I no longer have DirecTV at my cardboard box. And here's the thing:
Thanks, Slumlord.
well, here's the thing: I set it up. I did the normal things, and then all of a sudden, one of the steps was, would you like to add these other channels like Paramount and Show? And
Of course.
Well, and here's what I went. I was like, wait a minute. Show is on Paramount Plus. Why the fuck do I need to add another streaming app?
They haven't completely shut down the Showtime app yet.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It will disappear sometime later this year.
So
it still exists, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah, which made me wonder, why the fuck are you even offering me this knowing it's going to disappear?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thanks, Roku.
Anyway, so that was my little harangue.
Okay, and we might as well tell some people what they should be watching harder.
Oh, okay. I'm going. Do you want to start or should I?
You start.
Easy. Masters of the Air is actually fucking good.
How's Austin Butler?
Oh, he is his butleriest. He hasn't quite shed the Elvis.
I saw on Colbert, he said he had to go to a vocal coach because he became so embedded in Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Where he worked on that movie for like about 3 years.
Oh shit! Is that
so
why?
So he was working on his Elvis for about 3 years, and then the movie's done. It's like, fuck, I can't shake my Elvis.
Which does bring up the question then, because Dune Part 2 is coming out. Is he still gonna sound like Elvis?
I don't know.
But overall, if you ever saw Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, it has that feel to it.
Yeah, same producers.
Yeah. Well, and actually, that's the principal player: Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, just to name a few. So if you, and again, we've talked about it before. Watch it so that way when you have to talk to great grandpa or Pop, hey Pop, what was it like during World War II? Well, you have some something to back it up with there. But yeah, no, honestly, stellar cast right there. It's only 2 episodes that are out right now, so they're just coming out with it weekly every Friday. So that's one to watch harder.
Yeah.
We talked about Echo, so, just binge it. Binge it. I'm looking at you right now. You're saying you haven't binged it? Why?
Yeah, Echo was like 7 or 8 episodes.
No. It was 5.
Well, it's just 5?
It was either 5 or 6. I'm not
Okay.
sure which.
Very short run, whatever it was.
Either way. You don't want to watch it because it's a woman? I don't care. Watch it. Oh, it features somebody that's not white. Oh, I understand, Snowflake. Watch it. And, they're disabled. Did she look like she's disabled when she fucks up those guys? Fucking watch it. Shut up. So, God, I am becoming ornery.
You're being bullied into watching Echo now.
I don't know if I'm bullying or if I'm just not putting up with shit.
You're right up there on the edge there.
It's right on the border there.
Yeah.
But those are my things to watch.
Okay, one I definitely have is this series on PBS, Funny Woman, starring Gemma Arterton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of a British Mrs. Maisel, but a little different.
Oh.
She's a former beauty queen, actually, from Blackpool, who wants to break into the comedy business because she's pretty much worships Lucille Ball. This is the time period it's set in, the 60s.
Oh, brilliant.
She wants to be Lucille Ball. And so she gets onto a TV show. And the thing is, in the early episodes here, she's not that funny, which is, you kind of think, well, is she going to get there or not? She's mildly funny, but she's not Mrs. Maisel funny.
So what you're saying is, this is what would happen to me if I was in England and...
In the 60s and you were a blonde, buxom woman.
I mean... I can see the resemblance.
Yeah.
And also, Bill, my eyes are up here.
Yeah.
So
it's very British. It's
very posh.
It's got that. If you've ever watched Call the Midwife or any shows like that on PBS, British shows on PBS, it's very much in that vein.
Okay.
And it's more of a drama than a comedy, really.
Okay.
But it's worth checking out. It's
All right.
on PBS. You can on demand it on the PBS.
Okay.
And there's a show I'm kind of hate watching just to see how much longer it can last.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
I don't know. Thanks to the writer's strike, there was a dearth of things to keep up on.
Okay.
I'm used to keeping up on like 100 shows at once. Now, currently, I'm just keeping on about 75. So
Only. Only.
So I got to pick up the slack there somewhere. But this series, Extended Family on NBC, it's also on Peacock.
Oh, I've been seeing these.
Starring John Cryer.
Why?
Formerly of... He was on...
He was on Supergirl.
Yeah, that's right. He was on...
Lex Luthor, and he still kept the hairstyle, literally.
He did a good job there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Two and a Half Men.
And also on there is Donald Faison
from Scrubs.
Yep.
And also Abigail Spencer, who's done a lot of funny things. One of the best things she ever did was Burning Love.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to figure out where I recognized her from.
But she was also in the sci-fi series Timeless.
That's it. Yeah.
She was also in Rectify.
Yeah.
On the Sundance Channel.
Okay.
And so these are very funny people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who's writing this. Someone with brain damage.
Okay.
But it is fucking terribly written.
So what I'm hearing, people are saying I am hearing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do this. The answer is TV10 Podcast. Once again,
we can help.
Not help. Take over.
Oh, take over.
And look,
there are new showrunners in town.
Who's the showrunner for Extended Family?
I don't know.
Okay, so liberal Hollywood.
Just liberal Hollywood.
I know you're listening to this. And I know you've heard about the TV10 Podcast. Whatever happened before, please talk to our lawyer, Ed Brass. But for our consultation and or taking over writing acumen, we only ask so little. Just a paltry 100,000 per episode that we write up, which will be comedy gold. That is a steal. Which how many episodes are they slated for?
I'm gonna guess 13.
Okay.
10 to 13.
See.
Here's the twist.
Oh.
This show was created by someone who should know better.
Oh no.
Mike O'Malley. I guess the cancellation of Heels was just too much. He's broken.
Let me rewind this back, Mike. I get it. I truly get it. So whatever happened, we're going to make you better. So I'm actually going to be nice. I really am. $50,000 per me and Bill Frost per episode. Dump the truck full of money. It's CBS. They're good for it.
It's NBC. They're still good for it.
Okay, good. So just dump it over to us. We'll take over. We'll help you heal, and we'll make sure that Heals finds a home. We're good like that. I mean, is that not me being nice?
This is created by Mike O'Malley, loosely based on the lives of co-executive producers George Geyer, Amelia Fazzaliari, and Boston Celtics owner Wick Grousbeck. What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. And did you feel that feeling of, I don't care? Did you get that sense?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that why you're hate watching at this point?
Well, the thing is, it's created by Mike O'Malley, so there's something.
It should have been
much better than this, and it's starring funny people, and something's gone horribly wrong.
So one of things has to be true, and I think you hit the nail on one of them. Either Mike O'Malley's spirit is broken, or, and this has to be more plausible, network fuckery.
Network fuckery.
Or it could be a combination of the two. Either way, I think
It also has a laugh track.
Oh, okay. Network fuckery.
Yeah.
That's what I'm slating towards.
And it's on right after Night Court, which we've established here is not terrible.
No. It's not. It's really not.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's
watchable.
And that's how the original Night Court was in the early years. So, and it's got John Larroquette. So that is good on its own right there. Yeah.
So there's a show that is just a curiosity to me. Why is this happening?
A curiosity as to why you're still hate watching it, or why it ever came to be, or all of the above,
or why it is not working, because all the ingredients are there for a funny show.
Well, again, I know the answer. We're not involved.
We're not involved.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Just dump money on your driving parkway. We'll shovel it into the right places.
Yeah. So another show I would heartily recommend is True Detective Night Country.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. You had the People Blob. I don't know what else to call it exactly, but
yeah, I think that's
boy.
Yeah, just when you thought Body in a Wood Chipper was bad, no, this is and that one scene with one of the People Blob.
Yep.
Am I the only one that got nightmares out of that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is terrifying, not to mention the fact that, everybody else in Alaska is terrifying, but in like a Florida way, if it was cold.
So you're talking Florida North?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you didn't say I was wrong.
No, you're not.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
No, I think that's enough for now. So we want to thank our sponsor, Ogden's Own Distillery, specifically 5 Ys, specifically the Moscow Mule in a can.
Yeah. Now, normally we just go with the peach tea or the lemonade huckleberry. A staple of.
They're all good.
Yeah. But, of course, they also have some other great drinks like the 5 Wives and 5 Husbands vodka, a favorite of the Utah legislature. Can we gift them a case, do you think? I mean,
why would we waste it on them?
Only so they can do some right things.
Maybe, yeah. Does Ogden's Own 5 Wives still make that potato vodka? Do we know? I haven't had one for a while. It's really good.
I don't know, but I think I need to reach out to them.
Look into this.
Yes. And, of course, I'm pointing at you at the Teddy Bear Nanny Cams. You need to also try out the Madame Patarini Gin. You also need to try the Underground because it's like Jägermeister, except, better. And the Porter's Fire, the Porter's Peanut Butter Whiskey. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to grab this time around. But that's okay. We'll save that for our next guest that comes into the TV10 podcast studio. But you should also try some of our other sponsors like Sugar House Distillery, Outlaw Distillery, and if you need some beer, because I like beer, you like beer, and that's perfect for watching the football, which will feature the Swifties, if we're lucky, at the Super Bowl. Go to Bohemian Brewery. They got all the beers that you could possibly imagine, and they are tasty as fuck. That is a fine example of how beer can make things better for you. And of course, oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Super Bowl is around the corner here, which as of right now is going to be the Chiefs playing against maybe either Detroit or San Francisco, as we are live on air at this point. It's the game's tied as we're talking about. We'll keep up to you with all the sports report as soon as this podcast is done in about a few minutes. But either way, you should also get your stuff over at Boostique in downtown Salt Lake. They've got not only the fine glassware, they also got some great shakers for your cocktails, as well as some things to mix up your cocktails. But more importantly, if you don't feel like drinking because your bishop said it was bad, and again, don't listen to the Utah legislature. You should listen to us when we say, if you don't feel that way, that's fine. Get some non-alcoholic drinks over at Boostique. That is a great place for that there. But more importantly, go up there and to any of these fine institutions. Tell them TV Tan Podcast sent you. Or better yet, maybe you should rock up there with the TV Tan Podcast t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
We still have them. Still available. Only $10. Send us an email, tvtanpodcast@gmail.com. Put in the subject line, T-shirt me now. Just put your name, address, your shirt size, and if you do PayPal or Venmo, no, I'm sorry. We will not do crypto. We will not do NFTs. We will not do blockchains. We will not do dark web money. Well, can we do dark web money at this point? I mean,
I'm not going to say.
So we're not saying you can't use dark web money. We're just not saying it. Just know there's going to be a high markup if you are going to use dark web money.
Yeah.
Just be aware of that. But yeah, I think that takes care of our sponsors right there.
All right. Reach out to us, TV Tan Podcast, on, there's the Facebook, there's the Instagram, there's the Threads, and there's the Blue Sky, all TV Tan Podcast.
And, there may be
We've already amassed a few people on Threads.
I know
very
this.
quickly.
Yes, and I'm just saying we have some other platforms as well. I'm not calling them by name. I don't want to X them out, but sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
But hey, Muskie is Xing it out. Might as well be us too.
Yeah.
But I would say just reach out to us on all of those platforms. Share the love that is TV Tan Podcast.
Also, good old Gmail.
Yeah. We do respond to correspondence that way.
Old school email.
Yes. Or even Facebook Messenger, or slide into our DMs. That came out wrong, but
No.
or did it?
No. All right, that's enough.
And with that said, wait. Before we go, field goal by the 49ers. It's 27-24. Possibly we got 49ers versus the Chiefs. Either way, we want to support the Chiefs because if the Chiefs win, Tucker Carlson will kill himself. So
That's what we hear.
People are saying, I am hearing. So Swifty Nation, make this happen.
Thank you.
And good night, America.
That's
your line.
well, you can do your line now too.
Let me jiggle that handle. Why isn't Tucker Carlson hanging himself? Oh, yeah, I didn't flush.
Look, I don't even know why we're insulting each other. I'm genuinely a real fan of yours. Like, I loved A Bigger Splash.
Yeah?
Yeah, is that what you had hoped it would make in the box office?
Let's go!
God, what's it like looking like the last 3 guys a lesbian sleeps with before coming out?
Nice. Gonna have to do a lot better than that.
This is my impression of the only line people will care about this show. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Timberlake.
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry, I was just looking at your movie's 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm gonna change the cue card so you say the N-word during your monologue.
I'm so sorry about that.
I'm sorry, too. I don't know why I said any of that. You guys, I was just trying to rib you guys. I don't know.
Oh my God, that makes me
Thank
feel better.
God.
We're huge,
We love
huge
you.
fans of
Sorry.
yours.
Seriously, I think you guys are awesome.
Oh.
I've always loved Workaholics.
I hate